Hi there, good evening. Today's book, Irving Penn, Centennial. I bought this one off Amazon, to be honest with you. It was still sealed, but I think it's listed as an outlet product. I think mainly because the sealing was broken. Anyway, so I purchased it. I have a few Irving Penn books. I do like his full frame photography. I think maybe someone like Richard Avedon is quite similar. I haven't had a chance to look at this book as I'm just opening it now, so I thought I'd quickly flip through it. And as usual, I do have an older Irving Penn book that's kind of quite expensive now. So my plan is to sell that book and to keep this one because I don't really need the old valuable book. I just need his good photos. Anyway, this is Irving Penn. I haven't had a chance at all to look at this book. So let's see what it's about. And sorry, it is nighttime here, so it's a little bit dark. Hopefully you can see okay. So this one's published by the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. And you can already sense that the photos are very high quality. It's amazing how he's grabbing these these negatives with his bare hands. Um, it's kind of again really haven't had a chance to have a look at this book at all, but that's a beautiful photo. You get this curvature thing that I think Avedon does very well as well. The way he's kind of filled a triangle almost with the image. It's kind of amazing. You can learn a lot from these old books. Some of the little writing here is maybe too small, but this one here is him in Mexico in 1942. Photography is just the present stage of man's visual history. So a quote from 1975. I was gonna say I hope there's not much nudity, and then I just see this big ass. I think buttocks are okay for YouTube. We'll soon find out. Hey, my favorite, Philip Guston, is makes an appearance. I'm mostly a fan of his oh, his black and white portraiture. Um, I know he's done some color or some color ones of food, which I can't say really did much for me at all. Some of these are quite interesting about how he's captured like old tribes. I better have a look also in advance just to make sure that none of this is going to be like flagged for nudity. That's a Walker Evans photo over here. Okay, I think it's going to get started now. Where's plate 1? It says plate 2. Okay. So this is the main bulk of the book. 1939. So these photos would be quite early on in terms of street photography. Wow, these are also from the 40s. I didn't realize he was taking food photography back in the early 40s or late 40s. I thought it was most probably the second phase. I'm familiar with he has a lot of photos. Hopefully they pop up, but it's like the backdrop is an artificial corner, and I have seen some photos of people like perched in a corner. Let's see if it pops up. Okay, here it says existential portraits from 1947 to 1948. This is what I was talking about. People in corners. That's Georgia O'Keeffe. Hopefully I'm catching this okay. Don't know these people. Oh, here we go. Salvador Dali. Interesting looking guy, eh? Oh, wow. This is George Gross, who has done some of the most amazing and vile's not the right word, but he captures like German underground. If you haven't seen his pictures, you should. How else to explain his pictures? I'm not doing a good job on this Wednesday evening after a long day of work. I love the way people dress back in those days. Amazing. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock. That's pretty cool. Wow. Wow. That one really stood out to me. Joe Louis. That's an amazing picture. Truman Capote is really photogenic also, especially in his earlier years. Were they all wearing, I was going to say, were they sharing the pantsuits? Like Dali and Capote. I haven't read much of McKinnon quite yet. Mencken. Quite yet. H.L. Mencken. I do have his book, but I haven't read him yet. W.H. Auden. Richard Avedon has a great photo of him in the snow. Duchamp. Great. That's the picture of another book of his I have. That's the front page. This is one of my favorite photos. What an amazing photos. What an amazing photo. Look at their faces. It's kind of amazing. And this one reminds me of Richard Avedon. Okay, these are Vogue photos from 47 to 50. Yeah, that's a great photo. This book, by the way, is 369 pages, so it's quite a hefty book. I'm not a huge fashion photography like fan in general, but I do like when it's not so much about the actual fashion and more about the shapes and the contours and about how they fill the frame. Like this, or you have a very dark. It almost doesn't look like an arm. I think it can be quite creative the way that he fills the frame. I was going to say this looks like Cusco or Peru. These little children from Cusco in Peru. I assume he just traveled with the backdrop and put the backdrop there and just took a photo of them. So these next photos are all from Cusco. Oh no, he has his own portrait studio here in Cusco. And these are amazing pictures. Oh, I like how you can hear my exasperation real time. Okay, the next part is all nudes. I wouldn't say any of these are very sexualized, but they're nudes. God. One of the downsides of filming books that you've never opened before. 1950 to 1951. This one is called Small Trades. Referenced here is Walker Evans. There is a book of his actually called Labor Anonymous, where he's basically stood on a corner with his camera around his hip and taken these great shots of these workers going past. I love those pictures that he captured. Some of the characters are so interesting. You can track down that book. I think it's readily available. This is 1950s. All different types of workers. Wow, some real action shots here. That's T.S. Eliot. I don't think I've ever seen him. I can't remember seeing a photo of his. Classic portraits from 1948 to 1962. Ooh, the master Picasso. This is the hand of Miles Davis. Yeah. I was listening to a Miles CD recently. Where is it? I don't think I have it. Yeah. I don't have it on me, but I was listening to a Miles Davis CD earlier today. I do love Miles Davis. Okay, this is the same photo as before, so it's Marlene Dietrich. John Cocteau. Miro. Well, that's a bit of I'm familiar with the Avedon portrait of Rachel. Oh, it's not Rachel Carson. I'm mixing myself. This is the lady who wrote the book about is it called Silent Spring, the environmental book. I had it confused with somebody else. These are great photos. Wow. Look at Francis Bacon. His head is amazing. He must have the most amazing head of any artist. I mean, the shape of his jaw is kind of amazing. It's like his head is tilted to his left. This is the lady I was thinking of, Carson McCullers. I confused her with Rachel Carson. I've only read one of her books before. Something about a wedding. I can't remember what it was called. Great book. And an amazing photo of Picasso. Ethnographic portraits from 67 to 71. I may need to skip a few of these because of the native nudity. Hopefully it's okay. As I say that, I'm going to say it's not okay. Executive choice. Lots of topless ladies. Okay, that's kind of an amazing mask. That one's okay. This is an absolutely brilliant book. I'm very happy to have purchased this book. 1970, these photos. Holy moly. Tribesmen from New Guinea. I will skip a few. Okay. This one has spooked me out before. I mean, imagine you're just walking down the path in a forest in New Guinea and these guys pop out. 3 Asaro mudmen. What an amazing picture. These are from Morocco. You can kind of see a face below the behind the veil. These ones here I haven't spent that much time on. They're photos of cigarettes, which from a visual perspective could be quite interesting. I mean, there's lots of different textures, but they are cigarette butts. So whether you want to sit down and have a look at the individual cigarette butts is up to you. From a thematic perspective, yeah, quite interesting. From a visual texture perspective, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at the cigarette butts. Tom Wolfe. I did say that Truman Capote was very photogenic when he was young. Well, this is him in 1965, and this may be my favorite photo of him by Irving Penn. Warren Beatty, Ingmar Bergman. I have not seen enough of his films. I've just seen the obvious ones. Don't know who Alvin Ailey is. I don't know who that is. Joan Didion, I do know. Anais Nin. If you ever want to read, I think it's called Delta of Venus. I chose that for one of my book clubs. Extremely pornographic, disgusting stories. I didn't read the whole book. I stopped about 3/4 because I got sick of the repetitive nature of these disgusting stories. However, having said all that, very good author. Richard Avedon. Perhaps my favorite photographer. Versace. RBG. A young RBG. Whoa, don't do that. I'm not sure we would have got flagged for that. Let's see. We're getting towards the last 100. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing portions of this book. I apologize. I usually film this really early in the morning when my brain is still, energized, but I've just finished a very long day of work, and I fear that my ramblings today have been all over the place, and I'm considerably more slow than usual in terms of the way I'm speaking. So hopefully I haven't pissed you off too much. these last sections I'm kind of breezing by a little bit. Kind of conceptual photos about different shapes and food and vessels. I'm mainly a fan of his portraiture. He has some of his advertising work here. Which can be very interesting. Penn's printing process. A beautiful print is the thing in itself. Oh, that's interesting. And here we are. We're at the end. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I'm pretty damn impressed by the book. I really like his portraits. I mean, he didn't take that many, did he? I know this is not all his works, but there weren't that many. I think it's a very interesting book. As I mentioned, I do have an older book of his, which I will now officially sell. And I shall keep this newer version. The printing quality is amazing. It is a bulky book. It's kind of heavy. It's chunky. Highly recommended if you're a fan of portraitures. Have a great evening.